So, I'd always wanted to have a full sleeve, but, I started out with a couple other small tattoos that really didn't have any plan or any purpose, kind of anything. So kind of how I dipped my toe in the water. And so I'd had those removed because they didn't really line up with anything. And so as I was thinking about what would I want a sleeve to tell, I really wanted to tell a story about, legacy and about faith and family, and sort of the mission that I'm on, the mission, for our family and the way we live. And so that's, as I started to sort of think about the key elements, that's when I got Valerie involved. Think about what that design ought to look like. And so really it was a true collaboration, which I think the linchpin here, since we're at Brass Knuckles, is really the collaboration not only between the two of us, but between you and Ed, kind of putting this together, right? And for you all being willing to work with us kind of, piece by piece, step by step. And so, I did my diligence. So, I talked to some people out of state. I met with people in Soho. I met with people, down near Union Square in New York. And so we were actually on a trip, sitting by a pool somewhere. And I'm like, God, they're just not the right fit, right? In terms of quality and price and collaboration was really key. So Valerie started doing some searching. So you found Brass Knuckles.
Yes. Well, we figured, let's go outside of Manhattan because so many people have tattoos, and there's so much talent in all of New York City. So we said, let's expand our search a little bit, and that's where, I said, we should go to the Bronx or Staten Island or some place where all the cool people are getting their tattoos, and that's how we came across Brass Knuckles, and we said, only find 5-star reviewed tattoo salons, and here we are.
Yeah, and Ed's work really spoke to me in terms of what I was kind of in my mind's eye, right, about what I wanted to achieve. In fact, I know when I first reached out, Martha, and you got a hold of us, I actually texted you not only our ideas, but the initial starter ideas, but also a couple of the pictures. I'm Ed did those, right? So the work obviously was first and foremost, right? The creativity. Yeah. And again, a real thought partner, right? To say, hey, we have an idea, for example, this olive tree, which is meaning for us because Valerie's family's from Sicily. We have a picture of our son, Jack, by an actual olive tree in Sicily. And it represents, loyalty and roots and family and longevity and strength. And so we sent that picture, but then Ed took that, right, and actually turned it into this highly stylized piece, right, that's appropriate, right, for the skin, right, to show on an arm. So, too many of the places I spoke to wanted to be really literal. If I said I wanted Valerie's eyes on my arm, they literally would have her whole face, a photorealistic face. And I'm like, they didn't really capture the essence about what we're trying to do. And I like that the way we worked with you, and especially Ed's creativity, how he would take the ideas and actually then come back with something that was on point, but it would work, right? And how it would integrate, and he would contribute ideas and vice versa. So I think that give and take was really probably one of the best parts of the experience.
Well, thank you so much. That was wonderful. Anything, I think one of the things I like to share is it was a pleasure to have worked with you guys personally, because I felt your family as a very strong connection. And I think when we go into that concept, it's part of us as well. We became part of your story. So that means a lot to us, truly.
Absolutely.
So we're very grateful.
And I was going to say, I appreciate the openness to that, because not every place is open. Right. They'd be like, no. Thanks for your ideas.
Right.
Here's what you're going to get. That's nothing what I was thinking about.
Right.
Where actually Valerie was able to do these sketches, but you're always saying, well, maybe that ought to go here instead. And what about this? And hey, that's a great idea, but we're going to do that, but we can put this here.
Right.
So I think, again, that give and take, that collaboration, really being I felt like the four of us were owning this together. It wasn't just go stick this on my arm, right? So it's really great.
That's really great. Thank you so much.